Welcome back to the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. As always, like, subscribe, follow, whether on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. And also you can follow on Instagram, TikTok, and X as well. Thank you to those who have been following, subscribing, commenting, the likes. Greatly do appreciate it as I grow this. So I do thank everyone who has been supporting the podcast. Yes, welcome back. This is part 2. I just released episode part 1 for the Manchester United women's squad who are facing Tottenham on the weekend. Today's episode is just going to be on the men's squad. We have their match that's going on Monday. This preview is going out a little earlier than I normally do preview episodes, but we are out playing Monday, so today's going to be the preview. Discussing that, a few things changing. I will be posting 2 different lineups tonight because, again, we have potentially could be missing 6 players come Monday. With that going on, it was in the press conference today with Amram. I'm going to discuss that as I get through the preview. But yes, and then before we proceed, obviously the news, the schools, Nicky Butt podcast, whatever. The opinions that have come out and everything that they've said. Listen, at the end of the day, they played for the club. They have their opinions, so on and so forth. I'm not going to say anything. I've expressed my belief with the club, with Ruben Amorim. I am Amorim in. I believe he needs to be given the time to build a culture. Culture does not happen within 1 year. It doesn't happen overnight, so on and so forth. We need to rebuild and get themselves back. They were part of the history of the club. We know who they were, so on and so forth. Let them have whatever. I'm just leaving it there. I've had my opinion. I'm the fan. They're the players. They've been through it. Let them be. I'm not gonna always agree with what they say. I'm definitely not agreeing with what they were saying. But listen, at the end of the day, I'm just going to leave it there. That's what I'm going to state. But today's episode is going to be about the preview. We do have a very important game. Every game is always important when it comes to Manchester United. But here we are. So yes, we're playing Bournemouth. Listen, obviously everything that's been going on with the club, the game coming up on Monday is very big because not only that, we're going to be potentially losing players as well. Amram did have his press conference today discussing that. De Ligt is still out, discussing there was a back injury that he's been suffering from, though they didn't think it was serious because he was able to finish the game. It has definitely gotten worse, so we're at that stage where we're losing him for a bit. Harry Maguire is still out. Benjamin Sesko, we were hoping to have back on Monday. He's still going to get 2 opportunities this weekend to see if he's good to go. The reason why is he is good to go with the knee. It's just that he's got food poisoning. So when it rains, it pours. So hopefully we have him back. Obviously, food poisoning is not something like, again, dehydration, illness. It can drain you even more. I know he's been recovering to get himself back, ready to go. Hopefully, the next couple of days, the medical staff got him rehydrated well, got everything flushed out, and hopefully he's good to go. Have him on the bench, which would be huge, to say the least. I did mention I'm going to be doing 2 lineups today because of, one, the impact of potential AFCON players leaving, and if they do remain to stay. That's what we're looking at here. So it is hard to predict what's going to happen on Monday. Listen, this game is important. Bournemouth has been playing well. They started off well at the start of the season. They've cooled off a little bit, to say the least. Listen, they do have a talented squad. We have had struggles with them in the past. It's been 2 seasons now when we last won a game. Let me just pull up the history. Let me just take a look here because I'm just looking at the head-to-head. Let's just see here. Our last win was That was a friendly. Our last win in the league was January 3rd, 2023. Our last few games, disregard the friendly. We drew against them last year. That came with a last-minute goal. I think in that game, that was, if I'm thinking about it correctly, I think that was Rasmus scoring the goal. Let me go to that. Cheeto Obi. Yes, Rasmus scored the goal. Yes, because I remember that. I remember the people getting upset because he was celebrating. So drew with them last year, lost big to them, 3-0. Drew 2024, lost to them 3-0. Let me check those 3-0 losses. Where were we playing? Oh yeah, this is what at Old Trafford. Those three games that we lost 3-0 to were at home. And then May 20th, 2023. My apologies. May 20th, 2023 was the last time when we beat them 1-0. We had beaten them earlier on that season 3-0. But since then, 2 3-0 losses, and then 2 draws. So 4 games, 2 points, not looking the best. Last year, 1 point out of 1 point out of 6. But last year, again, only gained 1 point out of the 2 matches. Is still not the best. The squad does need to be better. We have to be more control. Obviously, last year was the first season of Amarim, but we are in a situation here where the squad needs to take another step. Listen, Monday, we're all happy with the win. I did do a post game if you want to check that out. Listen, winning 4-1 is great, but the issues that we had are still there. We cannot let them control the game. We cannot let them get those take those extra passes, carry through, make the big plays. We cannot let them run through the middle. Obviously, as always, I say these. Now I forget what I say. Consistency, discipline, and finish. It came back to me. It was there, ladies and gentlemen. It was. Just had to stop thinking just to bring it back. But yes, consistency, discipline, and finish as always. But it is big going to this game. And listen, going in missing 3 players, going in missing 6 players, that's we don't know who's playing. We don't. And Amarim said that in his press conference. Nobody knows who's playing, which works out in their favor. But yes, not having to let Maguire, especially with depth, does hurt. Will we see Licha this Monday? Potentially. It all depends on who's there, so we don't know. So you can speculate the back 3. I think consistently Aiden Heaven is going to be the one player we know that's potentially going to be there. Obviously, with Ahmad leaving, that impacts the wing backs. And Buemo leaving, that does impact the 10. So are we going to see Manu start? Are we going to see Bruno up to the 10 this season? Are we going to see different Man United squad? Are we going to see something similar to what we had last year? Will we have Cunha as the striker? We have Xerxes start. There's a lot of things that could be predicting going into this. Listen, I know they're supposed to find out, I think it was later today or tomorrow, about what's going to happen, because they're trying to keep them for one game and then have them leave after the game. But they are expected to be released and due to report to their squads on Monday. So, listen, losing Mazraoui means we lose a back, one of our backs. And I mentioned Mbuemo losing an attacker up top, and Ahmad. So that whole right side is going to be impacted. If you're looking at it here, that whole right side is going to be impacted by the loss. And the Ahmad and Buemo link up has been huge this season. So that is going to be a big hit if we find out if it's true. It shouldn't be if it's true, if it is actually happening. So it's the point. So, but again, going back to it, we can't let up the big plays. We can't let them carry through. I know this is another game where there's a potential Man United signing happening. We know the story of Man United and Semenyo being linked together. I don't care about this at the moment. It was great with Elliot Anderson. It was great with Baliba, Adam Wharton, so on and so forth. Yada, yada, yada. Cool. We have to dictate how the game is going. We're playing at home. We're playing at Old Trafford. And the last 2 times when we played them, we lost 3-0. So, obviously, protecting the goals. And that's the one thing, too. We have had issues with the goals. We're not, so when we look at, so our goal differential is 4. I think we're at 21 goals already this season scored against, and we're but we have to make sure those have reduced. We have to aim for a clean sheet this game. We have to use the back 3. Aiden Heaven, who has stepped in for Matthias de Ligt, has been fantastic. That game against West Ham, obviously taking the yellow earlier on, had to get subbed off, had to make an adjustment, obviously was that. But again, last game against Wolves, he played fantastic. I think today, Monday, will be a challenge as well, but I think he's up to it. But playing in that center spot in the back 3 has been good for him. I know you can talk about Luke Shaw. Maybe he moves up into the wing back. We have Licha, who could be potentially back and starting. Listen, it could go either way, how we're looking at here, but they have to be able, the ball movement has to be there. Possession, the consistency, the discipline. We have to finish out through, hopefully, getting Cunha the ball in the right spot, finishing off, being in control. We know Bruno will like to do the attack, but Bruno does struggle with discipline, moving around, spreading it. We have to make sure the middle's there. I hope Kobe is starting, potentially. I hope he does get those minutes as well. But we know and all that stuff. But let's take a look at lineup number 1 and then lineup number 2. Because, well, it's very important this way. So let me just get everything here, get everything downloaded, because I did my lineup predictions. I did 2. If anything does change, I'm going to revert it, so on and so forth. But let me just get everything up. So I want to make sure I have everything good to go. So come on, show me what I got. Okay. So, looking at my lineups. Okay, obviously, the lineup that I'm going with, if we're having everyone there, the lineup that I am going with is obviously Lemens, the back 3, the same as last week, same as it was as well. Mazraoui, Heaven, and Shaw. The middle is always going to be the same. I'm basically going with the same lineup as what it was for Wolves, and also a bit of West Ham. Obviously, Mount and Mbuemo and Cunha starting up in the front. So basically going with the same lineup as they did on Monday against Wolves. And then, yes, Ahmad, Casemiro, Dalot, Bruno, Mazraoui, Heaven, Shaw. So, yeah, keeping the same lineup as it was on Monday. Now, if it isn't happening that way on Monday, we are going to go in a different direction here. If those players are leaving, which I believe they are, there's a good chance it could be, they are going to try and fight and get them to hopefully stay, at least for the Bournemouth game, because we do play Villa next week. Listen, at the end of the day, we're losing them no matter what, whether it's Monday or whatever, but going into Monday does help a little bit. But Monday, if they are gone, might as well just prepare ourselves anyways. For Monday, we have Lemens, Yoro, Heaven, Shaw in the back. I think Euro goes back to his starting spot and replace him as Rowie. Middle, obviously, it's going to be a change up. I think Delo stays out on the left. Dorgu can go convert to the right wing, so he'll take over for Ahmad. Casemiro, Mainu in the middle. Bruno, Cunha, and Mount as the attack. I think that's what we're going to look at there. The reason why I don't have Licha, because he's, as much as he's been training and is fit, easing him back and protecting him is important as well. Having Xerxes on the bench as well is key for rotation. We may see Lacey come in. Fredrickson also could be eligible as well to come in as well to play. We are going to see those rotations. So we are going to see players potentially coming in. So we're going to have rotation today, and it's going to be different. Like we're going to be hit. So you're going to see some probably academy players more in. We may see Fletcher in as well. But we have to keep the depth there. And I think either if Licha does start, it's Euro coming off the bench, but I think Euro goes back to where he is, Euro, Heaven, and Shaw. You have to, again, Licha, having the rotation on the bench is key, and having Xerxes, Licha, Ugarte as well, having him there. But having the rotation on the bench, having the depth there is important because, again, we're going to be going to a very tough game. Bournemouth does play well. They play well against us at home. So we have to defend Old Trafford. We have to be able to control their attack. So we can't let things slip. Again, if they are here, those three, then that helps our right side with Mazraoui, Ahmad, Cunha, Mazraoui, Ahmad, and Buemo. Having them there on the right side, that will be key. But again, we have to have the players there and the protection. So not only that, if Sesko is good to go, we have another piece on the attack as well. So having Sesko and Xerxes there is key. Hopefully he's over the food poisoning. But Sesko, Xerxes is key together as well. Ugarte, Lacey. So we're going to have players there that we're hopefully going to see get ready to go. Fredrickson, you may see there as well. We know Malacia there. Leach is going to be there too. We're going to have depth pieces, which is very important going into this Monday match. So, obviously, if the rotation is there, you want to see, what was it? Obviously with rotation. Like again, if those three are still there, the rotation is going to be key. But if they're not there, the depth is going to be the talking point, and so on and so forth. So just taking a look here. Shea Lacey should potentially, we may see Shea Lacey get some playing time on Monday if those three are gone. But if we're looking at it here, obviously Martinez with the lineup that I think it's going to be Martinez, Ugarte, Lacey, and then Xerxes, and as well as, I'm just trying to think. Yeah. So, Euro, Ugarte, Licha, Lacey. You're looking at pieces there. Fredrickson as well could potentially be there too. So, we're looking at, it's going to hit us pretty hard on Monday with those depth pieces. So, but in the end, we're hoping for a Man United win, and so on and so forth. So, I'm going to leave it. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back. So, the post-game match will be back Monday as well, like always, to discuss that. Again, hoping for it. Again, I'm just going to discuss my two lineups again. So, lineup one, obviously, it's going to be the same as Monday, West Ham's or Wolves game. The second lineup that I have here, to say the least, no, I just lost myself. The second lineup, Euro, Heaven, Shaw, Dorgu, Casemiro, Mainu, Delo, and then Bruno, Cunha, and Mount as your attack. So, hopefully, again, we'll see how that goes, because that is going to be different. The flow is going to be different. We're going to have to, there could potential be, well, it's not going to be finalized. We won't know anything yet until the weekend, but just trying to get that lineup there, that lineup there that we could be, if we miss those three, will be not tough, but the control, the movement, and everything has to be there. The defense, the tracking back, it all has to be there, and protection and movement of the ball. So, again, we'll see how it goes. For maybe one has to go and two can stay, or so on and so forth. So we'll see. You're going to see my one line up here showing Mbuemo as the striker. It's just the way I just set it up, but you could see Mbuemo in the 10, Cunha as the striker, or Mount, or so on and so forth, false 9. So anything could go, but again, expected the same attack, same front three as Wolves with those. So, and then, or we may see Xerxes start and Mount, or Cunha come off as well, but either way, Cunha and Mount, we're going to see him starting on Monday. Whether who's replacing Mbuemo, that's the key right there. But yes, I will talk to you guys post game. Actually, I'm going to talk to you guys Sunday after the post game against Women and Spurs. That's going to be later on Sunday night. Monday, we'll talk to you guys post game after the United Bournemouth game. Hopefully, both my post game matches are discussing wins by United. Got it last week. Can we do it 2 weeks in a row? And so on and so forth, and just keep going. The men are playing well. There are still some issues. We have to, again, control the ball, discipline the passing, moving it through, getting the finishing done, so on and so forth. So hopefully we're not losing anyone. We're going to lose them anyways, whether it's Monday or after Monday, or like so on and so forth. So hopefully Sesko's ready to go. Hopefully we're ready to go. But yeah, as always, like, subscribe, follow, whether on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. And don't forget to follow on Instagram, TikTok, and X as well. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the matches as well. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.